Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're in an interesting spot. I tried to clean up the mess behind me, but to be honest, I don't really care that much. Today we're in this spot because I wanted to show you guys a little website called the Storygraph, which you may have heard of. A lot of people are leaving Goodreads behind and moving over to the Storygraph. So today I wanted to show you a little bit more about the Storygraph and how I use the Storygraph, kind of how it differs from Goodreads and how you can make up for that. This is my Storygraph. This is like what basically the homepage looks like. It just came out of beta. So it's either the storygraph.com, you can access it that way. I will show you. I'm also not too sure about the audio here. And I totally typed it in wrong. So hopefully it sounds good. And if you can't hear me through my microphone, I have this video going, so we can swap it out if we need to. But yeah, so this is what it looks like if you just type in the storygraph.com. And then when you go to sign in, it'll take you to app.thestorygraph.com, which I will not hit the sign in button so that you don't see my private information. A really cool thing about the Storygraph is the way it recommends books. It's pretty cool. We'll check out that in a second. You can see on the side I have all the books that I'm currently reading. I'm in the middle of quite a few books and I'm actually missing something, so I'll show you guys how we can add that. It's pretty simple. I want to add a book that I started last night. So I can type that in. So you can see that this is a little bit different. If I were to click on an author, it wouldn't take me to like an author page or anything. I would assume that's probably something they're working on in the future. But this top book is the book that I'm reading. So I can either click on it and I can take a look at what it's about. I can look at other people that have reviewed it and what they thought of it. And I can look at the community reviews. This book doesn't have a lot of reviews. It's kind of newer, but I have a feeling it's going to get a lot of reviews soon because it's part of the Audacious Book Club by Roxane Gay. So I can show you reading challenges in a second. But first, I am currently reading this. So I'm just going to click currently reading. And I'm going to change this to yesterday because that's when I started reading it. And then also, like Goodreads, you can track your progress. So I can click this and I can change it to percentage or pages. This is where it differs from Goodreads a little bit. Goodreads, you have like all your editions that you can choose from because a lot of them will differ in page count. You can go to browse editions and it'll show you. And if there's ever a book that you look up and doesn't come up, there is a way to import that. So on Goodreads, you have to be like a Goodreads librarian or however it works to be able to do that. But on this, you can change it. One thing about Goodreads that I really miss is the shelves. Instead, what the Storygraph has is tags. So I can click on this little tag icon and I can label it. You can see I've been labeling a few so far. This doesn't really fit into any of these, but I'm going to do, it came out in 2020. I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to do nonfiction and I'm also going to do short stories because it kind of fits into both. This book is more like a zine than anything. It has like art and essays and poetry, which you can kind of see up here, but I'm just going to leave it under nonfiction and short stories. And I hit update. Now you can see that's all tagged. So now if I go into your Storygraph, it shows me more of what's going on. So I can see more information about myself, what I'm currently reading. My reading preferences are over here. And this is hilarious because of how true it is. It has the books that I've read most recently. Has books that I've added to my to read pile as well. And you can also tag books as owned, which I know you can do on Goodreads as well, but because the way the shelves work on Goodreads, I never used this feature, but now I use it all the time. It keeps track of your 5-star reads, and then it also keeps track of the books that you've tagged and the books that you haven't tagged. You can see down here, it also has my reading challenge dashboard, but I'll go over that in a second. You can go to my to read pile. And this is where that own feature really helps, because then I can filter it and I can go to just books I own in my to read pile. And then it'll show me my TBR pile. So these are books I own that I haven't read yet. So I can take a look through those, and you can see all my to read books I've already tagged. So with this filtering process, I can also break down my tags. So I can look at just the horror books I own if I want to decide a horror book that I want to read next. And as you can see, there is only one. So yeah, that kind of gives you a good idea of how you can go and kind of make up for the lack of like shelves, because those tags are really kind of what shelves are anyways. Also, you can filter lists. I'm in the mood for something. I'm in the mood for something dark and tense. Let's do that. Dark and tense. I'm going to remove my tag, but I'm going to keep it on books I own. Filter it down. So now it's going to show me books that are dark and tense, which is pretty cool. And this is all decided by the community. So when you go to review a book, it gives you a lot of prompts, which I really love, because on Goodreads, a lot of times I just didn't want to leave a review. But on here, when I go to leave a review, it gives me all kinds of different things that I can choose from. So let's go back to the book I've read most recently, which is The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I'm obsessed with. I can look at my review. And you can see I didn't check off everything, but we're going to go over that. So I can hit this little edit button. And this book would be good for someone who's in the mood for all of these. So I can check off which ones are part of it. So it was also emotional. It was very emotional. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. I hit medium pace, strong character development. Absolutely. I would say it's complicated with the diversity. It's not really at center stage. I absolutely found the characters lovable, and I definitely thought the flaws were at center stage. And then it also has half stars and quarter stars, which is amazing. And then it also has where I can leave content warnings if I want to, which is really awesome. So now it has all those listed. And if I go back to the book here, it'll also show me what the rest of the community thought. I can view those content warnings there, which is great. And I can also see all those moods, the pace, the character development, all that, and then the average reading as well. That's something I really, really like about this website, is those prompts for the reviews. I can't think. I like those prompts on the reviews, because if I were to show you my Goodreads page, there are so many books where it's literally just says, "We'll review later," and I never review it later. It never happens. So this, if I just don't feel like leaving a review, or it's just a book that I don't feel really needs a review, I can still check off all these boxes. And I think that's pretty cool. The next thing I want to show you is reading challenges. So in here you can see I'm right on track for my reading goal. So then you can also add books, which is really, really cool. As you can see, I have imported the Free Black Women's Library Reading Challenge. Heard about it on Instagram, and it wasn't on this website yet. So I did it myself, and I added all the prompts and everything. And then I also added the Audacious Book Club, which is Roxanne Gay's book club for this year. I can also like search for other challenges that people have come up with. So you'll probably find lots of booktube challenges in here. This is just the first challenge that readathon that I can think of. Is the buzzword readathon. So if I look that up, yeah, as you can see, this one's by Kayla. So I would probably add that one. But yeah, and then you can click on a prompt, and you can suggest books for that prompt, which is really cool as well. Then of course there's also a community tab, And in here, you can look at like everyone on the storygraph, everything that they've read, as long as they have a public profile, you can see what they're up to, and you can like their posts as well. Or if you follow people, which I only follow my friend Aislinn right now, but I can like her post there. That is how the community tab works. So then they also have this really cool system where they'll like basically recommend you a book. You can show books you own and books in your to read pile. So I'm gonna say I don't want to see those, and I'm gonna click these again. Dark, adventurous, tense, any of the selected moods. I want all of them. Medium pace, fiction. Can I I can exclude genres. I absolutely do not want historical fiction. No, thank you. Anything else though, I'm cool with. I don't really care about the pages. So then there's also a plus feature, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's launching soon, and we can go over that. I haven't really decided if I want to go for the plus feature at the moment, because we're in a pandemic, and you know, a lot of people's paychecks aren't the same as they used to be. So I haven't decided whether or not I want to do that yet. So, okay, absolutely not. What does this do? Does it just oh, don't show me this book again. Don't show me this. Oh, please don't show me this author again. Thank you. J. Kristoff. I won't get into it. I'm just not a fan. Game of Thrones, never heard of that one. So it's pretty cool because it'll also show you things that like you've never heard of. So in February, they're doing for a year you pay $50. I assume that's US prices. It gives you like unlimited recommendations. So the thing that we just did come February, you're not going to be able to do that like unlimitedly. Also, they're going to track all of the data on all of the books you read. Which I think is pretty cool. And then you can like compare slices of time in your reading. You can see all the data side by side. So I think that's really great for people who love to see all the stats about the books they're reading. One thing, even though I probably won't go for the plus option, one thing I think is really great about the plus option is that the storygraph is owned by Black women. And so this kind of keeps it like independent, and it helps support a business owned by Black women. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot about this. This is like an amazing thing about the storygraph. So you can actually go on Goodreads and you can export your Goodreads library, and then you can import it into Storygraph. You saw there too, it also like I was able to like basically like block an author on Storygraph. So I would definitely do that to J.K. Rowling if she ever came up in one of my recommendations. I think the content warning feature is such a brilliant idea. Like, how has that not been done yet? I think that's a great idea and a great feature of the website. That's the Storygraph. Basically, I'm cutting Goodreads out of my life. I think BookTube and book internet in general has this like weird obsession with Amazon wish lists and Goodreads, and I don't want to support Amazon anymore. Amazon is owned by Jeff Bezos. I don't want to do it anymore. Absolutely not. Goodreads is owned by Amazon. I feel like a lot of people don't know that, but it is. And so when you stop using Goodreads, you're telling Amazon like, big ol' fuck you. I know a lot of people say like, oh, but Amazon's really accessible and their prices are so cheap. But the reason why Amazon can make their books so cheap is because they're not making any profit off of them. And in a lot of cases, authors are getting screwed over because Amazon is letting people put ebooks up on Kindle that are pirated books of authors. It's crazy. If you do like a little bit of research into how much Amazon screws over the book community and authors and editors and publishers, like it's insane. So 1, stop using Amazon. 2, stop using Goodreads. It's not a good website anyways. How long have we been asking for half stars and they've never given them to us? And Storygraph not only gave us half stars, it gave us quarter stars. This was just like my little peek at the storygraph and how I use it and some suggestions on how you can use it. And I know that they're really active on their social medias. If you wanted to give any suggestions to the creators of the storygraph, you can like easily tweet them about it. I know I was having some trouble importing my Goodreads information and they responded like right away, which was really fantastic and got it all sorted for me super easily and super quick. That's what I have to show you for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to you. If you're not already on the storygraph, get on it. Give me a follow. I'll leave my link to my profile down below so we can follow each other. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this and I will see you next time. Bye.